This episode of Watch It Played is brought to you by Game On.
Looking for great board games?
What about role-playing games?
And collectible card games?
Or miniatures?
Find all this and more, plus great prices and friendly service at Game On in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. If you've come to game on Prince Edward Island, then you've got to come to Game On. Welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. You'll notice I'm all alone. No, don't worry, Andrea didn't run away from home. She's not in juvenile detention again. Here's what happened, folks. Andrea's growing up. She's getting friends, boyfriends, she's got schoolwork, activities, a social life. So at the end of the day, she doesn't always have time to come down with old dad into the basement to play board games. And tonight is just one of those nights, unfortunately. But this is actually kind of good, because so far in this game I really haven't been able to take full control of any of the characters, and so for at least this video I'm going to take control of Heskin, and then hopefully the next time that hero's turn comes around, Andrew's going to be available and she can take the reins again. I'll try not to mess it up too badly for her. Also, I've replaced her for this video with the dice cam. Now I know you guys trust me when I'm rolling the dice, but I've always felt it was one of the benefits of having Andrea and Luke here to play with me is that you have independent confirmation about what the dice is really saying. So we're going to have the dice cam here, so when it's time to roll the dice I can just go like this. You'll see the dice cam pop up here. We'll roll, and then you can see what the result was. Alright, so we're going to get started, and you'll remember the first thing we have to do is take care of this villain, because last time I didn't attack with him because I was unsure if it should be attacking, and during our discussion video we decided, in fact, the goth should have attacked the dwarf character 2 times. So with this villain, you roll, and there's a table as we saw before, and we have to see what kind of attack it's going to do. We'll put on the dice cam here for you, and we'll roll for the first attack. Alright, it's a 4, and the 4 is an anti-magic attack. It's going to be a +8 modifier, so we'll roll, we'll add 8. It's an 18. That's definitely going to be enough to beat our poor dwarven fighter here, and that's going to cause 1 damage. As well, the hero discards 1 item of his or her choice. Thankfully, he doesn't have an item, so, so we're not going to lose anything there. So we have to do a second attack, so we refer to the table again, we roll the dice. And a 16. This is a poison attack. So it's going to have a +8 modifier. We're going to roll, and we're going to see what happens. That's an 8. So an 8 and an 8 is 16, and it's not going to be enough to hit our dwarf, so no poison this round, Mr. Goth. So before we move on to the hero phase, I'm just going to remove this card from the table. This is the Volcanic Vapors hazard. Now, this hazard is still in effect, but the token is handy. The one that's already on the map, it actually says on it what the effect is. So I'm just going to remove this, and my little OCD is kicking in here. I want to clean up the table a little bit. So now it's time to have the hero phase, and we got a couple of great submissions, and they're very similar, and I thought we'd kind of mold them into kind of a mutant move by a couple of players, and I'm going to throw a little bit of my own spice on top of it. So here's what cartoons 80s, 90s wanted to do. I think the cleric should try to disable the rolling boulder before it rolls towards the wizard and the rogue, dealing 2 damage to both of them. And Flex Do-Right added in, I agree, but I want to add that in the next villain phase, we use Astral Refuge on the rogue to get good placement for Tornado Strike. So we'll be able to do both of those things. And I want to add a suggestion. There's a potion of healing that the cleric has, and this cleric is piling up on the damage. So I'd like to suggest that we use this during our hero phase. It is going to regain 2 hit points, so we're going to take 2 damage off it here. And we can't forget, our cleric is dazed right now, which means he's going to be either able to attack or move, but not both. So our players have decided to try to use the attack action to disable this boulder. And so we're going to have to roll a 10 or more. So I'm just going to put on the dice cam here, and let's roll and see what we get. Oh, 11. That was close. So that's good. It means we're going to be able to disable the trap. I'm going to put that in the discard pile. I'm going to remove the rolling boulder token. And now, that's going to end the hero phase. And that means we can remove the dazed token from our cleric. Okay, so it's the exploration phase, which once again is going to be terribly uneventful because we didn't get a hero to the edge of a tile, which means we can move right on to the villain phase. Now, you'll remember Flex Do-Right wanted to activate this utility power of the cleric called Astral Refuge. You send an ally to a safe refuge in the Astral Sea for a short time. Use this power at the start of any villain phase. You can choose one hero within 2 tiles of you. Remove that hero from the tile. At the start of that player's next hero phase, that player places the hero on any tile. This is one use, so I'm going to flip this ability card over, and we're going to remove our thief, put him in the Astral Sea. And so what that means is that our thief, when he begins his next turn, we can put him anywhere we want. So this is going to allow us to be a little bit more tactical and decide, where best to position him to do his big attack, if that's what we choose to do. Okay, so moving on, we now have to draw an encounter card. And we drew an event attack. It's called Bullseye. An arrow flies from the shadows. Attack the active hero. This is a +10 attack modifier. It does 1 damage. So I don't think we should waste the experience to discard this. We should just suck it up and see what happens. So I'm going to turn on the dice cam here. Let's roll and add 10. A 14. Well, 14 and 10 is 24. So that's definitely going to be a hit. We're going to have to add a damage token to our cleric. And we'll discard this encounter card. And now we're going to activate our villain. Now, I just realized there's a little mistake here. Remember at the beginning of this video we corrected and said that I shouldn't have been moving the Goth, I should have attacked with it. Which means the Goth shouldn't be here, it should be back over on this tile. So now we're going to see what the tactic says. If the Goth is within 3 tiles of a hero, it attacks the hero with the most hit points within range with an eye ray. So we have to roll the dice here, and it's going to hit, let's see, who has the most hit points? It's going to be our dwarf. So once again, our dwarf is going to be taking this hit. We're going to roll. We get a 19. So this is going to be a telekinetic attack. Has a +8 modifier. So let's roll. Add 8. We rolled an 8. An 8 + 8 is 16. And our AC is higher. So that's not going to be a hit. That's good. So we'll put that villain back. And now we have to activate monsters. Our cleric only has 1 monster to activate. It's the Grell. And thankfully it's out of range, so it's just going to move 1 tile closer. It's going to go on the scorch mark there. So that should end the cleric's turn, and now it's time for me to concoct what I'm going to do with the wizard. So I'm going to take a quick break, look things over, and come back and start the hero phase. Okay, I've made a decision. I can do this. I'm a grown man. I don't need my daughter here to tell me what to do with this wizard. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to poison myself. Okay, so I'm off to a bad start. Because I'm on the volcanic vapors tile, I'm automatically poisoned at the start of my turn. But now I'm going to try to get out of this cage. In order to do that, I have to give up my attack turn. I'm going to roll the dice. I need to get 10 or more, but don't forget, I have the Thieves' Tools, which is going to give me a +4 modifier to my roll. So turn on the dice cam, roll the dice, add 4 to it, and get more than 10. That's all I got to do. Simple. 19. Very nice. So that means I get to remove this curse. Thankfully, free to the cage, now I can move and get off of this volcanic vapor tile. So I'm going to move, let's see, I'm going to move right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move in behind my other heroes here. And let's see, because it's now the end of my hero phase, hold on a second, I almost forgot. I've got Captain America's throwing shield. And that means, let me just read here, I can attack 1 monster within 2 tiles of me. This action does not count as an attack action. Remember, I used up my attack action to get out of the cage. So I'm going to have to roll this. I'm going to attack the snake. I'm going to add 6. I got 8. 8 + 6 is 14, which is higher than the snake's AC of 13. So that's awesome. I'm going to just take this experience, put it here. I'm going to remove the snake model, and I get to collect a treasure. I got the Boots of Striding. These simple leather boots make you feel light on your feet. I can play this item immediately. I gain a +1 bonus to speed while this item is in play. That's pretty cool. Let's see, who should I give this to? Who do we want to be able to move even faster? We've got, let's see, I think I'm going to give it to our fighter, so our fighter can move around a little faster. He's got the lowest speed of the party right now. Hopefully you agree with that move. I'm sure Luke will like that. Okay, so that ends the hero phase. Okay, so we're on to the exploration phase, and once again, this one's going to be simple because we didn't get to the edge of a tile. So we're going to be able to move right on to the villain phase. And I'm sure you all caught this when you were watching and were yelling at your screens. I forgot about the high alert card here. What this does is, at the end of each villain phase, like for instance the end of the last villain phase, Our cleric should have passed his monster over to the fighter, so I'll just do that now. And now we'll begin the villain phase here, and I'm going to draw an encounter card. Unbearable heat. The volcanic vapors that fill the tunnels slowly wear down your endurance. Each hero takes 1 damage. Oh, I don't think so. Instead, I'm going to spend 5 experience points, and that will allow us to discard this encounter card. And let's see, we have left over here 5, 6, 7, we have 8 experience left over, so we're still doing all right there. Now we're going to activate our villain, the Goth. It's going to be attacking the monsters within 3 tiles, the heroes within 3 tiles again. And it looks like, yes, our dwarf is going to have to be the brunt of this attack as well. So we're going to roll on the table and see which attack the Goth will do. It's a 2, so it's going to be the anti-magic attack. We're going to have to roll again and add 8 and see if this hits. It's a 3 plus 8. Very good. It's going to be another miss. Excellent. And now we can move on and activate our monsters. And guess what? Our wizard has no monsters, so that's great. And at the end of the villain phase, he would have to pass a monster, and there's no monsters to pass. So actually, I think this round went pretty good, and I think this next round is going to be really key. It's time for us to rally the troops, get ourselves in good position, and really go after these monsters. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what you suggest for our... Let's see, who's going to be attacking next? It's going to be the rogue, and then Luke's going to be here hopefully, and it's going to activate our fighter. So hopefully I did okay in the absence of Andrea. We miss her, of course, and hope she's back for the next video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.